So hi everyone, this is Justin here from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with a 100% achievement guide for Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. Now this game is going to take you approximately, I'd say, between 2 to 4 hours to complete. The game has a grand total of 23 achievements across the game. It's mainly story kind of related achievements with some collectibles in there. So we're collecting hats, completing tasks, fully upgrading all of our weapons and purchasing everything from the different vendors, so the dark web and the Roid robot that are available in the game. This game is also dropped directly onto Gamepass at launch as well, so it is free for you to play if you are a Gamepass subscriber. Now, to kick this off, one of the things I'm going to flag at the very start of this game is that there is a level of random to the game and how it behaves. There are elevators that are dotted throughout the levels, and these elevators will be with a different room behind them each time. However, all of the main rooms surrounding those elevators are exactly the same all the time. So there is going to be a little bit of RNG involved. Now, as we're kicking this game off, actually there's a couple of things that we want to do to make sure that we can get a real easy run. So it's actually quite an easy completion if you choose to do so. You can actually enable God mode from the accessibility menu, and it does not impact the achievements that you unlock along the way. However, if you want to be hardcore as well, you can also keep God mode off. There is also the ability to adjust the aiming features that you have that are in the game, so you're able to have auto aim turned on. However, if you're not got auto aim turned on, you can just aim with the right stick in general. So to do that, once you actually hit the main menu, you want to go into options, go down to accessibility, and in here you're going to find God mode and the auto aim. You can also increase your damage if you want to. However, to be honest, the character still does quite a lot of damage anyway. You can also decrease your damage if you so feel like it, but increasing the damage just means that the weapon output will be a lot higher, making it a little bit quicker, but it's really not that bad. So let's get this show on the road. So to kick this off, you're going to want to walk to the right, and as you reach the far right hand side, you are going to encounter the pickle. And this next section is pretty much a training section, so Dilatini is going to walk you through how to play the game. If you're familiar with, obviously, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, it's the same thing along the lines. You walk around with the left stick, you press A to engage with the different characters. There's lots of little NPCs out in the level. So here he's going to encourage you to shake down enemies. When you pick them, friendlies. When you pick them up and shake them, they're going to drop all their money on the floor, and you are going to pocket that. There are also pressing the right stick in is going to cause you to attack, and in some cases you will have a weapon drop on the floor and you need to press A to pick them up. Pressing the right trigger will shoot the gun. Pressing X is also going to cause your weapons to swap, and we're now going to learn about the dodge ability to dodge some of the red lasers that are out there that you'll have to deal with as you encounter through the bank. So once that's on, make your way down to the button at the bottom right hand corner by pressing the left trigger to skip through the laser and speak to the twin on the other side. Once that's over, that is going to trigger our first bank robbery. So the general kind of idea behind the game is you go into the bank, you rob as much as you can and you exfil, but you also complete a whole bunch of different tasks at the time, and you won't be able to progress further into the bank until you've purchased certain items that allow you to do so. So at the start of this, you will only ever be able to loot 1,000 in cash, and you'll be able to loot out any valuable objects at an unlimited amount. So once you're done talking to Stinky, we'll do our first run. And what you'll notice in the top right hand corner is a little clock. There's a countdown until the security forces will increase in the area, and when that countdown reaches 0, you're going to find that we have a lot of enemies come in, and then eventually Stinky is going to turn on the gas. There's an achievement for being in the gas at the same time. Don't worry, it can kill you. So clear out the first foyer, and you want to walk in and you're going to talk to Hollow Annie. It's worth engaging with the NPCs that you find around the area because they can actually give you hats. And make your way in, and you're going to find this little star fruit here painting a picture of one of these famous influencers. So Starfruit is going to ask you to go get the money off of this influencer to pay the bills, and that's going to add the painter's payment to your task. Make your way to the top of the screen, and you will find then a builder here, and he's going to give you another task to get rid of Stinky statues, and we'll need to do that so that we can progress forward with the game. However, as you see at this point in time, we do not have a pickaxe to purchase, so we'll have to come back later. So make sure you go around shaking up the people, smashing the cash machines to make sure that you reach that 1,000 in cash. Make your way over to the right, and as you go up to the top, you're going to see an elevator. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. The elevators, what's behind them is completely randomized, and the picture on the front of the elevator will give away what's contained on the inside. So this one is going to lead us to a vault, looking at the picture on the front of that one. And I actually get lucky this time around because I also roll the vault, which is also having the influencer in that we need to speak to for Starfruit's task. So after your little discussion with the Dilatini and the lift guy, and this is obviously purely random, but there will be timestamps down below, but Slay Queen is in this location, and you will be able to engage with her, and she will give you the influencer money. Now whilst you're in this room, we're going to want to do a spot of looting. It's also going to trigger some dialogue for things that we need to buy on the black market. So make your way around to the top, and you want to dash through these red lasers. As you come into this area, you want to make your way up and take a left. And this is what we should be doing at the start of the game, is focusing on making sure we walk away with a full bag of cash. So we don't want to exfil with half the money. So go around, you want to clean up this area and grab as much of the loot as you can. You might be in a different room at this point in time, so if you find a different NPC in here, make sure that you engage with them. Use the timestamps below for references on where to find their task and how to complete it. But as you go through a particular vault-like area and you're dodging through the lasers, you'll be able to shoot the circuit board that you find at the end. Once you have shot that, that is going to take all the red lasers off in the area, and it's going to allow you to attempt to rob the safe. So start making your way back to where we came in. And from the left, you want to make your way to the right, and this is going to trigger the discussion about buying some C4 from the dark web. Now, we don't have access to the dark web currently, so we're going to backtrack to the left and we're going to go down. Then when you're back in this main foyer area, we want to take our way to the right and navigate through the bookshelves. You need to talk to the NPCs that you're along the way. So there's the veteran down in the corner. Like I said, sometimes these NPCs will give you a hat. And then to the left, we've also got the little blueberry down here that looks a bit wonky. But head into the main area. And then on the right hand side, you're going to find another lift at the top. There's a couple of enemies to also take down in here, but make your way to the left at the top. You want to go into this one. Like I say, we're going to try and get 1,000 this time. This is one of the office rooms. And in this one I actually load in the office that contains the Homewrecker task. So speak to the old lady Lime just at the front here, and she is going to give me a mission to get hold of her divorce papers. Once you've done that, you will just want to navigate through this area and you want to clean up and just grab whatever cash so that when you reach 1,000. On the left hand side there is an NPC that you can talk to as an acorn, but I don't think you get anything from talking to this one. But make sure that you have, before you leave this area, make sure that you have 1,000 cash. You also find safes that are locked as well. We need to get hold of the laser pointer that will cut through it. I don't think a laser pointer is strong enough to cut through a safe, but apparently that is the case. So at this point in time the timer has run out, and what's going to happen, they're going to start to deploy in some more security forces. So you're going to see folks like the Bacon or the Peach Cop, they're going to come and try and get you. Once you hit the maximum number of stars, the Stinky guy, the garlic bulb, is going to release a load of gas into the bank that's going to try and kill you. You also get an achievement for doing that as you kind of go. So to get out, we want to go back through the lobby and down to the bottom into the lackluster lobby, and then you want to exit out, and this is going to take us back to the safe house. You'll also bag yourself an achievement for exfilling with £1,000. So once you're here, the first thing that we need to do is talk to Dilatini. So he is just at the main desk in the center, and he's going to say that you're pulling in rookie numbers and that we need to be hitting the bank a bit harder. So to do that, we're going to have to buy some stuff off of the dark web to make that happen, because right now we can only walk away with £1,000 every time and some valuable items, but we also need to open up the bank a little bit further. So make your way down to the base, and we're going to talk to the avocado lady just in the corner and exhaust the conversation. You'll then want to use the dark web computer that's next to her. So we will need to buy everything on the dark web eventually. As you can see at this moment in time, I've not got enough money for a pickaxe. So you have the choice of buying C4 or a laser pointer. The C4 will open the vaults, the laser pointer will open the safes. I picked the laser pointer at this point in time. We'll bag one achievement for getting it, but then there are a lot more items that get added later. You can also talk to the banana in the corner. I'm not sure if it does anything, but they just pickle it for some reason. Yeah. Anyway, once you've done that, you want to make your way back in. This Robo Raphael is eventually going to sell you personal upgrades for your bag, but he's not going to offer much at this time. There's a training dummy if you want to practice with your guns. Twin 1 in the right hand corner runs the research lab for weapons. So as you're out in the bank, you'll be able to pick up weapons from the enemies and put those there's weapons that you find from those enemies and turn them over for research. You can't do that with your base guns that you receive from the gun rack. So once that's done and you've had the conversation, you want to hop back in the truck. We're going to try and rob the bank again. And you'd think they'd learn from the first time around that smashing through the wall they would do something about that, but that is not the case. So when you're in this first lobby, we want to clear out the area and make your way up into the fancy foyer. So as you go through the bank, you're going to find these little things, these little glass cases just here, and when you engage with them and you smash them open, you'll get given an item that carries a value. That does not go into the money bag, that goes into a different pocket somewhere, and you can take as many of these out as you can. And now because I got lucky, I can talk to the Starfruit about the influencer bucks that I've received, but if you don't roll the influencer in the beginning, you'll need to come back here later on in the game. So I'm turning that in, and she will give me an artist's hat. And just quickly go around and loot up any of the cash from things like the cash machines and shake down any of the NPCs in the area. We'll need to go to the second lift because we're going to need to make sure that we've got enough money for us to actually purchase the pickaxe, because that's what we need to progress forward. So making my way up to the first lift, and I get one of the vaults this time. So what we need to do in this area is as similar as the others before. We need to shut off the lasers, As soon as you come in, you want to navigate through the lasers by pressing the left trigger and tripping over them. And in this particular area, there is also a mission for us to pick up. So there's a rare artifact, and that is given to us by the kiwi. It is the top of the area, and we need to find the watermelon that is been cut by the lasers into pieces, and give the artifact that the kiwi has. So make your way up. You're going to find the kiwi in here, looking at the picture of the watermelon, and he's going to give him the artifact. And once you've done that, we can clean up in this room and make sure that we've got 1,000 and leave. You may be in a different room at this point in time, so just like I said, use the timestamps below to navigate to the area that you're in, and you'll find the other missions and tasks referenced below. So make your way out. Once you are back in the foyer, make your way down and then to the right. And as you come over to the right, we will need to go up through the other elevator, and it's going to be one of the plain offices this time. I believe I roll the office that contains the lime lady in. However, in this time we will be able to actually get a bit more cash out of this area, because there is now some safes and we have the laser pointer where we can cut these open. You may not have this area depending on the luck that you have. So, and you can find these in the corners of the little map area that we've got. So the area is not particularly big. Walk over to it, you'll use it, a bunch of cash is going to fall out, and you'll get a rare item that you can extract with. Once we've hit that 1,000 again, we need to exfil, and to do that, return back to the foyer and go through the foyer entrance. As you can see here, I've hit the full 1,000, just cracking that last safe because I'll get the extra item that I can take out with me. So a couple of extra $100 there. But yeah, we need to exfil now from the bank. So make your way down past the lime, through the foyer, and then back to the beginning. But in your case, you may be in a different area. And then once you're through the fantastic foyer, exit down to the lackluster lobby and then out via the truck. So once you're back at the warehouse, the twin is going to have a chat with you. So make your way over. They are on the right hand side of the sofa that you're sleeping on, and they're going to talk to you about research. So they're the one with the red arrow above their, the red mark above their head. Talk to him, and he's going to tell you about donating weapons that you find in the bank to the system. And you'll need to do this until you get to level 10. So inspect the board, and you're going to see that you need to recycle weapons. You cannot recycle your own weapons. It has to be weapons you find in the bank. Once you've done that, you'll then want to make your way down, and you'll want to talk to the avocado lady, so Annie on the left hand side, and she's going to give you a mission. Okay, so next up, hop onto the dark web, and we're going to buy the pickaxe because we need it to bash through some of Stinky's statues. Okay, once that's over, make your way to the top, and the twin is going to talk to you again, and he's going to talk about the gun rack. So take a quick look at that one. You'll bag yourself an achievement for looking at the gun rack. There's not much on there at this moment in time, but as you research more weapons, they'll add more things for you. Now, pressing the start button is going to help you out a little bit on this front as well, because the amount of tasks is going to grow. Your phone has a map which is going to show you all of the different areas that you can explore as you unlock them. It shows you all of the inventories. The task contains all the lists of the missions that you have to complete and that you've accepted so far. The fashion icon at the bottom is going to allow you to change your hat. So as you can see in this case, I've found the artist's hat, and we're going to equip that. And then your inbox will receive emails, and when you click on the inbox you will unlock new hats. Now some of these hats will require you to complete certain things that we do, so just do things like breaking stuff and reading through your mails, but most of them come from the missions and speaking to the NPCs. You can also check your achievement progress through here. It doesn't have a tracker in the app, but when you're looking at certain things you can do them through the stats section. And once you've done that you want to then exfil out to the bank again on the truck. Okay, so this time around we're gonna make our way back into the foyer. Now that we have a pickaxe we can actually make a little bit more progress, but we still need to explore areas of the bank as we're going to, you know, make sure that we're getting enough money to buy all of our upgrades. As you get closer to the end the money gets more in this scenario, but so early phases you'll only be walking away with about 1,000-ish every time. So make your way over to the statues, and you'll want to use the pickaxe on them. It's going to mine through, they are going to break, and they're going to drop this little grey square which you can redeem for money on the way out. So it's like one of those valuable items. Once you've done that, chat to the guy on the left hand side. You might have to do it twice. Okay, and once you've done that you want to make your way up into this area. So if there's a little item here you might want to grab it. These appear in random locations all the time. Make your way to the left and you want to speak to the NPCs by the wall here. And we're actually about to grab our first photograph of the game that we need to give to Annie. And to do that it's very straightforward. There's these little signs that you're going to see. Click on them and you'll grab a little pap, and that is your first out of the 11 photos. We'll turn them all in at the end of the game. Now just to the right you're going to find the two P's. They're going to talk about graffiti and they're going to give you a different weapon to what's in your box of weapons standard. So they're going to give you a crayon, and we're going to use that crayon to draw over some of the paintings. Now before we do that though, just next to you you are going to find another mission that you can pick up, and that is linked to the dragon fruit who is sculpting. He's going to ask you for some illegal material. Now also just above that we're going to find the first painting that we need to deface. So once you're done talking to the dragon fruit, make your way up to the desk at the top. You want to hit it and it will break, and then click on the photograph to deface it. Now make your way to the right, you're going to find your next painting that you need to deface just above you, and then keep going to the right and talk to the construction beetroot as well, but there is another painting just to the right of them. You'll also see these little green wall attachments around. These are linked to healing. Make your way to the left, there is some more paintings to scribble on, and then head back down into the main foyer, and there is one to your right and then there is another to your left. And then you want to make your way a little bit further into the foyer area. So go down, you're going to find another painting just before you enter the library-like section, and then that is all of the paintings have now been defaced. Make your way back up to the painting, go to the right, and then speak to the P's, and that will complete this task for you. Okay, so we're going to take on our first boss. We'll also get a graffiti hat at the same time, and that is to the left of where the P's is. And you're going to find a guy called Yeehaw that is sat on a little throne in the middle. You need to fire a shot at him, and that's going to aggravate him, and that's going to kick the fight off. It's the same with all the bosses in this game. You need to irritate them a little bit to get things kick-started. Now, in a classic top-down shooter style fashion, the way you beat the boss, if you haven't got the God mode enabled, you just need to stay out of the firing line. So keep moving, keep dodging the bullets, and taking out the ads in the room, and eventually Yeehaw will jump back up onto his chair. Just take out a few more ads, and shortly while afterwards he will jump back down again, making him targetable. And make sure that you're picking up the weapons that you see dropped in the room that aren't just your standard pistol, like this one here, which is the corn minigun, as it packs quite a lot. But rinse and repeat this until the boss's health bar is empty. And once you've deleted the fella, it is gonna give out. You have a little rage about it, but he's gonna drop a key card on the floor that you're gonna need. So grab the green key card, and that's gonna allow us to open up the door above us. And once we open that door, it's also going to change what's available behind the elevators. He also dropped a sniper rifle if you're interested in it. But make your way up into seed stock. Now in seed stock there's a whole bunch of tasks that we need to get kick-started, and that's going to get the ball rolling on a lot of things. So to your right hand side you're going to find this blueberry that is working in estate, and they're going to ask you to make sure somebody pays their bills. Now also, if you were lucky enough, you're going to find the Homewrecker lime here in this area. So it's the green lime just in front of the stand here, and what you need to do with the actual green lime is you need to give them a bit of a shakedown. So you're going to do it a couple of times. Once you're done looking at the wallet you've just robbed, shake down the lime. He will drop a bunch of money. He's going to run away, chase after him, and then you want to give him a second shake when the opportunity arises. Nothing will come out, and then chase after him, and then give him another shake, and he'll eventually drop the divorce papers.
Congratulations.
And now next up in this area, make your way down. Just make sure that you spend the time talking to all of the different NPCs in the area. And once you've spoken to those NPCs, start making your way up on the right hand side, and you're going to find the florist. Talk to the florist and she's going to ask you to find a ring for her. And whilst you're here, talk to Strawberry as well, but it's not essential, but just in case it triggers something in terms of receiving the emails and stuff. Now from this point onwards we're going to make our way up, but as you go up you want to be grabbing the loot that you find along the way. These little red boxes are ammo crates, and you can also find more Stinky statues as you're going around. Also talk to the orange and the kiwi on the left hand side, but for the statues you can, like the ones that you broke to progress forward to this area, you can also mine these down as well to get a bit more money if you need to. Keep going up. You can see some cherries on the left hand side which you might want to quickly talk to, and then proceed further up from there. And as you come up you want to go toward the left and talk to the carrot in the corner, because he's going to give you the next guidance on how to progress further in the game, and it's going to trigger more items to be added to the black market. From there, make your way to the right, and you're going to find somebody called Crancran, who's at the top just here, and she's going to give you another mission. She's a bit miffed with you, but she wants you to ask to find her Crancran.
Congratulations.
And then from here, go to the right, and you want to talk to the hologram of the avocado just in front of there, and she's going to talk about purchasing train tickets should you need to leave. the van is not the only way out of the building. And to buy that ticket, you need to go into the app and purchase ticket to find the station. It will dip into your pocket cash that you have with you. It is you have to pay for your own ticket. On the right hand side, you're going to need to talk to Mac, who's going to be saying that you're not a camper. It sounds like some kind of Twitter war where gamers and all of this kind of stuff, where you're not a gamer, you are a gamer kind of thing. Now, once we hit the 4,000 in this area, we can't progress as far forward because we need to get the cardboard box. So what I'd recommend is make sure that you dip into the rooms that are connected to the areas. In this case, I roll another one of the office places, which has got one of the vaults in, but just loot as much as you can. And keep an eye out for any NPCs in these lifts that you may want to get a hold of. At the same time, you can also see that my star rating in the corner is going up, and once that hits maximum, that counts for, I believe, an achievement once the gas starts coming in. So once we're done in this area and we've looted most of the stuff that we need, I'm still not going to be able to get into the vault because I don't have the C4 yet. But make your way down and go back out of the actual lift and down back into the seed stock area. Now from this lift door, you want to go to the left past the train station. You'll also find just to the left of Crangelica and up another lift. So again, potluck what you get in here, and I roll one of the ordinary offices. This is slightly different to the offices that the lime is in. But down here at the bottom you're going to find a ravioli, and that ravioli is going to want you to get her certificate back from a Perogi. Once you've done that, we are probably at time where that bag is at kind of max full at the minute, so we can't really take much more out, so it seems a bit pointless to continue. We have a full 1,000 and I actually have 13 different valuable items that I can sell on. In this area there was another 2 safes to loot, so make sure you just clear out the last room that you're in. And once you're done with that, we're going to utilize the train to exfil. So loot the area and then exit back out to the seed stock area. Okay, and I got a little bit sidetracked here. I forgot that I could exit via the train. I go down. You don't want to go down at this point. You actually want to go to the right, but I grab a little bit of extra loot on the way because what's going down. But you'll see at this point in time, Stinky is going to kick things off and he's going to start gassing the area. Now if you're not got golf mode on, this does a lot of damage and does it quite quickly. So you can exfil now via the train station at seed stock. Just go up to the gate and put your ticket in and it will take you back to the safe house. Okay, so on this return visit we're going to open up a bit more options now. So the Roboroid enhancer is available, but before we do that, make your way across to the blueprint board so we can demonstrate what they were talking about earlier. But take the 2 weapons that you've got that you didn't bring into the area and you can turn them into research, and that's going to unlock new weapon upgrades from the for the weapon rack. So now if I go to the weapon rack, you can see that I've got a fully, I think a submachine gun or a handgun or an Uzi or whatever. I don't know this kind of stuff, but yeah, as you go you'll unlock better upgrades. Now you want to talk to the Robo Raphael, and he's going to give you the option of buying Roboroids. Roboroids are your upgrades in the game. So in this case, I pick up a bag of Roboroids because, sorry, a money bag, not a bag of Roboroids. And I also purchased the hat at the same time. So you need the hat for the collectible, but buying the bag is going to increase how much you can loot out of the bank. And at this point in time as well, I do not have enough money to buy the box from the black market, so we need to go in and get a bit more and return a bit later. So at this point though, you can grab the C4 if you don't already have it, or if you picked the laser pointer earlier, just pick these bits up, and we're going to want to return back into the bank. Okay, so as always, just pausing it for avoid the loss of time, make your way into the bank, and you can see these weapons that are dropped on the floor, by the way, which you need to pick up and trade in. Remember, you press A on top of the weapons to pick it up. Make your way back into the bank and make your way up, and you want to grab as much loot as you can, but we're going to hit the first lift on the right hand side. You can see they're different this time around. I've got a picture of a sword in a bonfire. I wonder what that reference is. And when you speak to DJ Sizzle, he is going to ask you to harvest souls. Shock and horror. I wonder what this is a reference to. And at this point, he's going to give you a soul scythe, and you can only carry a maximum of 100 souls, but he's going to ask you to farm a load of souls, and we're talking lots. So you want to grab the scythe that he's dropped, and they also drops a DJ disc, which does the kind of the same thing. It shoots a DJ disc out, but the scythe or the DJ disc are going to cause these little flames. These are souls to drop on the floor from certain of the characters. You want to go around and swipe them and pick them up. So make sure that you're going about killing them all, and make your way to the right hand side of the foyer at this point in time. And as you go down, you're going to find an acorn that is owning a piece of land. And if you remember earlier, we picked up a loan repayment request from a blueberry. So we're going to need to give that to the acorn, and he is going to give you his scalp and tears. It's a bit dark, but he's going to give them to you anyway. And we need to take those back as repayment to our friend the blueberry. So you're going to notice also one of the lifts in the area in the game will eventually come up with this mushroom skull looking on. And we want to head into here, and we're going to speak to the mushroom cultist, and they're going to tell you that you need to find their recruiter, and they're going to give you the passcode. That recruiter is in seed stock. So we now need to backtrack. So come out of here, take a left, and then go down. And we want to go up. I'm going to do a bit of looting here as well, just to make sure that I'm getting enough money as I exit. Early on in the game, you want to make sure that you leave with a full bag. Once you've grabbed all the money, make your way to the right and go up. And then you want to go through the door that has got the number 1 labelled on it. And that's going to take you into the central courtyard, which kind of acts as a bit of a central hub between the areas. We need to get into the seed stock place, because we can complete some of the missions in there. But this area is pretty much connects you to the kind of the 4 main areas of the game. So the foyer, seed stock, the crypt, and the dark area. I can't remember what it's called at this moment in time. But exit to the left. Keep going left into seed stock, and we are going to do a bit of farming for money and souls. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to make your way down to the base of the area, and this is kind of where we came in. So you need to speak to the grape with the mushroom on its head, or a question mark above it. Give it a quick chat, and it is going to give you the passcode that you need to go see the Great Mush.
Congratulations.
Once you've done that, head to the right, and you're actually going to have a quick chat with the blueberry, and they're going to realize that they're on the wrong side of real estate if this is what's happening. And once you have done talking to the blueberry, make your way up in this area, grabbing as much loot as you go. And as you kind of get to the top as well, you're going to see all of these statues along. Like I say, early on in the game you want to be grabbing as much of this stuff as you can. It gets a lot easier later on in the game when you get into some of the more deeper areas where the loot is worth a lot more. No, but continue up to the top of the map. You want to enter the 2 lifts. And again, like I say, it's always random roll. So in this case, as I go in, I get the ordinary office. Now this is slightly different from some of the other offices that we've been in. I believe there's 3 variants. At the top of this area you're going to find Beat, and Beat is going to ask you for a graphics card, which we can get a little bit later in the game. And once you've spoken to the Beat, make sure that you head around, obviously grabbing some souls. And I recommend it as well, if you exfil with the soul scythe, just keep it with you, because you may not re-roll that room again, and you'll need to return quite a few souls. But keep the soul scythe until you have 100 souls if you have it on you at the time. But yeah, loot up the room. And once you're done in this one, make your way to the right and head over to another elevator. Just see what you get out of the blue. If you end up with the same place that you've already been into, so in this case I get the ravioli area, don't stick around if you've got a full bag. Just exit out, because it'll be a little bit quicker at that point in time. Now that we've done that, we want to make our way back to the central courtyard by going to the right. Go down to exit the area, and this is going to put you back in the main corridor. Keep going down. Go to the down and further to the right in this case. Well, because I've already unlocked this area, I'm going to make my way back to the Illuminati mushroom area. You'll want to speak to this guy, and he's going to say the community is closed, but you're going to give them the code that's going to let them in, and he's going to explode and disappear. And once you have moved this guy out of the way, you'll want to go around the room and speak to the different cultists that are in the room. They are all going to give you missions for killing 3 types of enemies. So killing the peach cops. The peach cops will only appear when it is in the star mode. So once you've exceeded your time in the bank, and the peach cops will start dropping in. You need to defeat 200 of them. They will ask you to take out the security guard peppers, so the peppers that are covered in security guards, and they are located in the dark docks or whilst the high alert mode is on. They'll ask you to kill the security snails that are in the area, and they are pretty much located in the main foyers or the office areas. And then one person is going to ask you to trash all of the furniture, 1,000 pieces of furniture, not all of the furniture, because we'll be here forever because it respawns. There's also a few cultists in the corner, which are broccoli cultists that you can speak to, but yeah, I don't know whether they do anything for you. But make sure you grab all 4 missions in this room first of all. Now these missions are most likely going to be the ones that we obtain at the end of the game, so just make sure that you're killing cops, swat peppers, snails and everything as you see them, but don't bother farming this now. Farm this towards, focus on this at the end of the game, because you'll end up encountering them a lot as you go. The moment I walk out of this door I automatically run into a set of peaches and kill them, so just allow the game to do natural progression on this front. And then once it gets to the end of the game, if you haven't completed it, then go about farming this activity. But at this point in time we want to leave the bank. Once we are back, we want to hit up the blueprints board, so sell off any weapons that we have. Keep the soul scythe on you for the time being, because just to make sure that it's a little bit easier for the other bits and pieces, but you can always grab another gun off the rack. But yeah, once we have this on us and we get 100 souls, then we can give up on the scythe. Speak to Dilatini, and then we're going to need to make our way down to the dark web. We're going to need to purchase a cardboard box for some reason. And yeah, at that point in time, if there's nothing else that you can buy from the Roboroid side, but focus on the cash bag in the beginning, the other items that we can come to later, because we're invincible, so it doesn't really matter. Return to the bank. Once we're back at the bank, we're going to make our way up into the foyer again. So those are the security guard snails that you saw me take down there. And those, like I say, they're native to the bank. They're not part of the security raid later on in the game. So keep making your way up. Keep your soul scythe out as well. Don't do what I do. Pick up a cactus gun and start taking everybody out. The soul scythe, like I said, it drops the other bits and pieces. Now, if you see this lift here, we want to go into that one because we're going to pick up our next mission. There's going to be a sad pie in here. And when we talk to the sad pie, they're going to ask you to go find some pet rocks for them. So have that discussion. There's nothing else in this room, so we need to exit the room straight afterwards. Kind of the best way to do this game is for every run that you do, just check the list in the area to see what you're getting. If you get something that you've already been into before, you can do a quick sharp exit. But if you see a picture on the front of a door that you don't recognize, then just make sure that you head into it. And yeah, you also need to talk to the acorn that we took the scalp off of earlier, and you can see that they're blossoming into something special. So you check out the lift if you want to, but if you notice that it's somewhere that you've already been, I get lucky in this case because I round up with the offices with the lime in it. And this is where you can turn in the divorce papers and complete this mission. She is going to give you some glasses. And now that she's 7 days old, apparently she's going to hit up the clubs. So make your way around this area. Now's a good opportunity to loot up as well. So there are a couple of safes in this room. Just grab as much as you can if you need it. Once you've done that, return to the foyer. Okay, once we are back in this library-like area, we want to make our way to the left, down, around, and then continue across. Head up towards the courtyard area, and we are going to make our way in after deleting a few people and getting some souls along the way. Make your way to the left, and as you come into this area, check your lifts. You can go into them if you need to. In this case, I roll a lift that doesn't really serve any purpose. I just quickly go in and sweep up the fact that there was a snail there for me to kill. That's part of the Shroomanti stuff. Continue to the left. And you're going to see as well, just above Angelica, another lift just here. And this is back to the Shroomanti room, so I'm going to leave this one alone. Continue to the left after you've taken out the enemies and it's a bit clearer, and you're going to find the cardboard box guy. Speak to the carrot and he's going to open up the door for you. And as you go in, we're going to see this new type of enemy. By the way, they're a great kill. So they break into multiple small pieces. They are a fast way to farm souls, by the way, if you're using the soul scythe. It's the quickest way is by killing this enemies here, because for every kill you get, they drop one soul, and you get several kills out of one enemy. As you can see, I jumped from about 60 to 88 just there. Speak to the gummy bear in the top left hand corner, and that gummy bear is going to ask you to find a camera, which we can purchase from the dark web later. Once we have that mission given to us, let's make our way into the festival, and there's a door at the top of this area that we want to go through after we've swept up a few more souls for ourselves. And we're going to take out a bad candy apple. So this is the next boss of the game, and there's a common pattern to all bosses in this game. There seems to be like a wave kind of based approach. So make your way up through the top door. And as you see, I've maxed out my money. You want to hit the candy apple in the corner, and it is going to get a bit cranky with you. So this is actually the easier of the bosses, I find. It's very quite quick to kill once you've got some of the stronger weapons. The way you want to do this is just keep moving around and avoiding the attacks if you don't have God mode on, and just don't land in anything. And eventually it is going to slide down to the base of the pole. When that happens, we want to head over to it, and we want to give it a quick slap with whatever weapon that we have in our hand. But keep hitting the worm that pops out of the candy apple, and that's actually the boss itself. And you're just going to keep whiffing away. So take out the ads in the area. Once the apple hits the ground, go over to it and give it a good smack. Rinse and repeat this until the boss is dead. Now our apple is going to give us our next keycard, the level 2 one. It's also going to give you quite a good weapon actually, but not necessary for this point in time. Make your way up to the top right hand corner. You're going to find another photo opportunity with one of these pictures. Now that we're done with the candy apple and the boss fight, there is not much more that we can do at this point in time, as we will need to exfil and purchase some other items to help us progress forward. So best bet right now is to head on out of the bank. So as you can see, the money is flowing in a bit stronger now as we're progressing forward. So naturally, as you go about this, make sure that you're trading in anything that you're not using. I kept the soul scythe on me for some reason. Now, you need to visit the dark web, and you need to pick up the disposable camera. And at the same time, we haven't got enough money for the lantern to pick up the goop boots. But we need to purchase the lantern next, so we've got to do a spot of work for that. So exit out and hit the truck up. So as always, start this off by figuring out which doors and elevators that you've not been to in this area. So as you go around, check the foyer In this case, I get the rock room first of all. I don't need to go into this one at the moment in time. You might need to though, so just check to see what it is if it's not a picture that you recognize. And you'll also see here I get the vault one, and it's a re-roll from one of the ones earlier. This little section down in the bottom right actually makes for pretty good loot each time, so you end up walking away with quite a few high value items that you can sell. So once you've done that, we're then going to go check check your room at the top and see if there's something where you can make a bunch of money. But I've already been here, so I choose to not do that one. Follow the path around, and we're going to make our way back towards the seed stock area. As you go up, we're going to head to the top. You'll see that you can open up the door 2 at the top. It's going to trigger some discussions with Dilatini. But this is the dark dock, and once you actually realize, you'll see in here at this point in time it is too dark. You may have had enough money to pick up the lantern. Unfortunately I didn't, so at this point we are going to go around and clean up. So to do that, I go back to the seed stock area. It's not that you can't see in here, it's just a little bit painful. So I make my way out, and at this point in time I'm going to go farm some money. I luckily actually come across one of the areas that I do need to visit. So, and that is in the seed stock area. There is one of the lifts that I need to grab. Apologies, this guide probably feels a little bit scatty, but due to the random nature of the elevators, it's quite hard to figure out the right way to narrate this. But we appreciate obviously you guys watching this content, and you know, if you could help us out by liking, subscribing and supporting the channel. Now when you come across the door with the pentagram on it, that is Crancran, but she's not going to speak to you straight away. You need to go into the room behind her, and she's set up a situation where there is several waves of enemies. You'll see a little health bar at the bottom indicating how many enemies you've got left to take out. Just delete all of the enemies in the room, and once you're done, go back out and speak to Crancran. So now that this is over, make your way down. Crancran is on the throne. You want to talk to her, and you want to give her the stuff that was given to you by Crangelica. So once we're done with chatting to Crancran, we are going to exit out, and you need to go to seed stock to find Crangelica. Now I'm lucky because it's spawned right next to her, that room, but Crangelica is at the top of the seed stock area, which is on the left hand side of the map. When you talk to her, she is going to give you a picture of yourself, sort of. Now that we've done that, we can also turn in our next task, which was to purchase the camera off of the dark web for the Cryptid adventures, and they're in the cardboard box area just to the left of Crangelica. Speak to her, and she is going to give you another photograph as well as a hat, I believe. So at this point in time, we're pretty much done, and we need to exit the area. And I'm going to drop back to the weapons warehouse so that we can purchase the lantern. So as always, we want to trade in any blueprints that we're not, weapons for blueprints that we're not using. So we want to give those a quick recycle and pick up any new weapons off of the board. They get better as you go, sort of. And once you've done that, you want to make your way down, and we're going to head on to the Dark Web Festival. You want to purchase the lantern. Once you've done that, you might want to head back and check to see if you can buy any of the items. If you've got enough money, make sure you increase your bank bag. Once you've done that, we're going to return back to the lackluster lobby, and we're going to make our way back up into the main lobby. So as per usual, just check your lifts in the area to see what you roll. Remember to check the timestamps down below if you find something slightly different. In this case, I rolled the Shroomanti room, which I don't need to go into yet because I haven't killed all of the enemies and broke the furniture. And then I also rolled the Souls room. Now I need to return back into here because I need to purchase a new Soul Scythe because I lost it. And to also turn in the missions to DJ Sizzle for the souls. So what actually keeps happening, he asks for 5 souls, 10 souls, 15 souls, 20 souls, 25 souls, 30 souls, so on and so on, until you complete his list. So once you have run out of souls to give him, purchase another soul scythe or the DJ gun from the box at the top, which is going to give you a little Call of Duty nod at the same time, and keep reaping those souls. But also for your reference, you do not need more than 300 souls, I believe, to complete his missions. So once you've done that, roll, make sure you grab another soul weapon. I prefer the scythe personally because the DJ thing runs on ammo, but I get unlucky because you have to spend your own cash to do that. So make sure that you clean up on any loot in this area first of all that you want. You'll then want to make your way back towards the central courtyard. And as you come through this area, again, clean up on any loot that's in this bit, but make your way to the very top. Enter, and you'll now see that you're much more brighter and more lit up. Speak to the NPCs on the side, some funky looking cherries. We're going to need to make our way to the left. There's a couple of enemies in this area. There's also a place for the Swat bell pepper if you need to find them. You want to follow the room around to the right. And as you come up into the section, you're going to have to navigate through a lot of junk and goop, but thankfully because of the goop boots you don't take damage. And just by this fire here you're going to find a guy called King Gob. He is going to ask you to find the peace treaty. To the right of King Gob, you are going to find another fine gentleman in the tent on the right hand side, Gimblar. And Gimblar is going to tell you, I don't want to be a vegetarian or something like that. They want to eat the food flesh. Once you've done that, I don't really know what normal food is in this scenario. Make your way down from Gimlar, and on the left hand side you're going to find the Perogi. So we need to shake the Perogi 3 times, and this is to get the good food certificate. So shake the Perogi 3 times, chase after it, and it's going to drop a bunch of cash, and then eventually you'll get the certificate off of them. He did something pretty cruel there. But to the right of where he is also stood, you're going to find the next photo opportunity, which is for a picture of the creepy portrait. There's actually 2 photo opportunities in this area. You have to backtrack to the left and then back between to the right through the different bookshelves. So on the right hand side, you want to make your way in, and it's on the wall, but there is some creepy anime that is drawn. So to the right hand side, some creepy anime that is drawn on the wall. Grab another snapshot of this. Or crying anime, not creepy, my bad. To the right of the anime is going to be this mush of food people that are going to want separating. And to do that, they're part of the way, they're blocking the path forward. We need to purchase some items off the dark web. Continue down from the food wall of people. And on the right hand side you're going to find Stronkle, who is Stinky's son, and he's going to ask you to give his dad a drawing. And then to the right of Stronkle you are going to find the blueberry that is dealing in illegal materials. So when you speak to him, he will give you some wood.
Congratulations.
And there is one other task that we need to pick up in this area, and that is Greg's waifu. There's also a lift just above us, but for me it doesn't provide any value because it's just the rock lady room, and we don't need to return there until a lot later in the game. So we want to continue up and to the left, and when we get the opportunity to go down by the anime art, you want to do that. And then to the left and by the fire you are just going to find Greg. So this is the mastermind behind Greg's list, and he is going to ask you to purchase him a pillow. Okay, so once we've done that, and we've spoken to Greg, what a lovely human being, we want to make our way to the right, and we want to go up. We want to take a left to pick up the weapons that you find along the way. It's a bit dark in here as well. It's not my favorite area in the game, but make your way backwards, and we're gonna make our way back across towards seed stock area. Now if you exit from the left hand side, it does put you back in the field with the boss. I accidentally shot the boss and triggered him again, so I'm cutting it out. But make your way down, and we're going to be back in the area where we fought the rock candy creatures. And like I say, if you're on the souls hunt and you're looking for souls like I am right now, they are a good thing to kill, because you'll stack up with quite a lot of souls nice and easy. Once you've got those, you want to make your way down. And as you come down into the area, We want to stick to the left hand side. It doesn't quite go to plan for me here. I get a bit excited by the loot. I do apologise. But as you're coming into this area on the left hand side, we need to be looking out for the blue kiwi that we spoke to earlier in the game. I've gone a little bit too far at this point. So that blue kiwi is on the left hand side of this area. As you come back up, they have a green question mark. They're not actually a kiwi. Plot twist. No, this kiwi is actually a goblin, and that kiwi has got the orange to sign the peace treaty, which is what we're looking for in this task.
Congratulations.
So we can also get the seed in seed stock. We can also get the food that we need to give to Gimla, the individual who doesn't want to play ball. There is a tree in the top right hand corner by the campsite where Marco is, and you want to interact with that tree, and they're going to make a blueberry food folk, which is not real apparently, but that's what we need to give to Gimla. So what I do at this point in time, because I have maximum souls and I'm able to do so, I'm going to return back to the DJ Sizzle guy who was in the Foyer area. I'm going to turn in another 100 souls to him. So once I've done with that, at that point in time, we are obviously still selling souls, but we are going to exfil at this point, and we are going to return back. We need to purchase the fruit separator from the dark web, so exit out of this area. So now that we're back, we want to grab off of drop anything off of the blueprints board to increase the weapon research. Once that's done, make your way down, utilize the dark web, and we're going to go after the food folk separator and the body pillow, which is aptly priced at $69 for some reason. Also at this point in time, I've got a fair bit of cash, so I purchased the upgrade for the bag, which is going to allow me to exit with more loot. And we're going to return back to the bank. So this time around we're going to separate the food folk. So to get to the food folk, go through the foyers, shake everybody up, reap some souls if that's what you're doing. And to make our way to the food folk, we want to go up through the lobby area, continue up through the door which has got the green number 1 on it. Once you've done that, make your way further in, continue up, and we're going to go to the number 2 door and continue in. And as we come into this area, we want to follow the pathway around, and as we're doing that, we're going to drop off some of the other missions along the way whilst we're grabbing all of the cash that we can find. As you come round and down by the fire is the King Gob. Give King Gob the peace treaty and he's going to give you the title of Knight. So he's going to set you up. Once you've done that, make your way to the right and you're going to find Gimla, and we want to give him the fake blueberry food situation, and he is going to say that he's finally getting some good sustenance, and he's going to give you a pet rock in return. Solid trade. You can't eat a pet rock. Make your way down, and then we want to continue to the right, and you want to go down where the anime art is, and then to the left, and then we're going to want to give Greg his body pillow. Once that's over, we want to make our way to the right, and we are going to go after the next boss. So go to the right from the Super S and separate the food folk that are on the wall. Once that chat is over, we are going to take on somebody called Mecha Chad. Everybody knows a Mecha Chad, I believe. But continue into this area and you'll go to the right hand side. I think this is my least favourite section because it's all in the dark. And then open up the door and Mecha Chad is going to be on the inside. Shoot him down to have a discussion. So like all over the bosses in this game, it is pretty much a case of keep moving around to dodge them if you don't have God mode on. He does have a slightly different attack where you need to hide behind some of the furniture, so the grey blocks in the room where there's a big laser attack. And there is also a bunch of ads that will be summoned in. But put your focus on Mecha Chad, and then when he jumps up onto the stool, you need to take cover. He's also going to show you some slime videos and some soap videos along the way. But as you can see, if you take cover behind those boxes, he can't reach you. So just keep moving, keep fighting, and eventually he will be deleted. Now that Chad has been taken down a peg, I'm going to grab his security card, which is going to take you up to number 3 on the levels. You also grab his additional weapon, but exit through the door on the bottom, and that's going to put you into the creepy crypt. This is where you see an increase in the value of the loot that you find in this area. But make your way in and go to the left hand side. You're going to find this elderberry on the side. She's a medium and she's going to want to help you out with getting in touch with your dead sister. So chat to her to trigger that task. And once we've done that, we want to make our way to the right, go down. And then we want to go up and around. So the lifts for this area, one you'll find at the top of this section. I don't need to go into it because of the Shroomanti area. On the right hand side, if you come into this room, you're going to find a giant piano attacking you. But you'll start to see that some of the loot you pick up in here is worth a couple of $100,000. Now in the bottom right hand corner of this room, you're going to find your next photo opportunity, which is with the slightly melted goblin. So clean out the enemies and grab that pap. And also have a chat with the NPC if you feel like it. He's slipped into some radioactive stuff along the way. Doesn't look like it's quite gone to plan, mate, but yeah. Anyway, exit out of the room, take a left, and you want to go down. And as you come down to this section, you're going to hit this kind of like a T-junction kind of setup. You want to make your way down into the big room that is full of garbage absolutely everywhere. And on the right hand side of this room is the bean that you need to shake down for the GPU. So keep grabbing the bean until he drops a GPU, and we're going to need that for later.
Congratulations.
From this part, we will then make our way further down. If you can get through all of the trash, you need to just shoot stuff so you get it gone and get it good. To the left, and then at the bottom left hand corner of this room, you want to make your way down. I thought there was more loot in the room. I got a bit excited, but it's not actually there. Continue down, and then on the left hand side, you're going to find General Grapefruit, which I believe is a friend of yours. Continue in to the right and keep going to the right, and you're going to find this guy stood here, and he's going to tell you the path is blocked and you need to build a bridge. So not much that we can do at this time, so make our way to the left, and we want to take out the enemies, and we're going to go down, and you must speak to the mailbox that is on the right hand side, because if you don't get the hat that he's going to offer to you. And to the left of the cranky mailbox, you're going to find another guy you might want a quick chat to, called Mac. And you can also find another train station here if you wish to exfil early. But in this case, I don't. I head back up into the creepy crypt. As you come up into this area, and you go past the grapefruit again, and as you continue up, here you can follow the pathway around. I believe I've gone the wrong way actually at this point in time, but you're supposed to go to the left, and if you keep following it to the left, you'll end up back in the central courtyard. Now, because there's not much that I can do at this time and I need a bit of extra cash, I'm going to do a quick sweep of the area to see if there's any lifts that I've not been into before. And in this case, I actually get lucky. I get a brand new lift, which I only think opens up at this point in time, which is the shower room. So look for the duck with bubbles on the front. And you want to speak to the conductor onion in there, who is another old acquaintance of yours. And you want to speak to him about getting a soda. So at this point, we can't actually get the soda pop until the end of the game. Now this locker here is actually quite handy, because if you've got a weapon, you can just drop that weapon in, and that will automatically mean that you can take out 3 weapons to the weapon warehouse, because it synchronizes with the locker back at the safe house. So if you're working on the weapon research and this room appears, you can actually extract 3 weapons at one time as opposed to 2. So now that I'm done in this area, I'm actually going to exfil, but this is the room that you need for the Sody Pop mission with the conductor onion. And also, if you've been following along, because the items are more valuable now, you'll pop the achievement for exfilling with over 100,000 wealth, and that's come from the big items in the creepy crypt. So as always, once you're here, you want to spend a bit of time throwing any of your special items any special weapons that you've got into the blueprint board. Like I say, you can extract the weapon if you've unlocked the shower room, but pop that in, and that is gonna upgrade to the next level. and just make sure that you don't leave empty-handed. Make sure that you take some weapons off of the board. I don't think they'd let you leave empty-handed anyway, because you wouldn't win. And then you want to head over to the dark web, and we're going to pick up Build a Bridge for 150,000, and we might as well here at the point in time grab the premium train ticket, which means it's now free of charge to take the train every single time. Once you're here as well, fill up on any of the upgrades. Like I say, always keep upgrading the money bag, but at this point in time the money bag is getting pretty big and the loot's getting pretty big, so you can just grab as much of the stuff now from Roboroid's store. And once you've done that, let us drop back to the bank. So one of the things I missed earlier, but I'm just going to show that to you now, but you can actually do this earlier in the game, but we were asked to collect from the illegal wood, and that is for the sculptor who is in this first foyer area. I'm just doing a quick round to just check the rooms to see if there's anything new that I haven't landed in yet, as well as cleaning up the loot in this first area. But he is at the top end of the foyer, so let's make our way back to that side of the foyer. Past the area where you broke the first set of statues, you will find the sculptor over to your right hand side. You're going to wriggle on down there and just chat to him, and that is going to complete this mission. Now don't follow me at this point, I walk to the right without really thinking. The door is actually locked at this point in time, I'm getting ahead of the game. But we need to take down one more boss in this area. So make your way back into the central courtyard, exit from the right hand side, and we're going to go further in. And the first thing we're going to need to do, obviously clean up on a few enemies if you want to, but we're going to head down into this busy area where the fellow dropped the GPU for us earlier. Keep going down, grab another bit of an expensive item off the side, and then we want to go down to the left hand corner. Follow this path to the left, you want to go past the grapefruit, and at this point in time I also get the souls door yet again. So I make my way in, and because I've already got 100 souls on me, I trade them at this point in time. So we're now back into the creepy crypt area. We want to make our way to the right and give the pumpkin the answer to the problem. And he's going to throw a bone in and create the bridge. That's going to pop up and we'll be able to go across it. And then take out the few enemies that you've got in this area. And as you come in, you want to keep making your way to the right and push up. You're going to find your sister on the right hand side, who is dead. And then make your way up and you want to talk to this pomegranate fella here. He's also asking for he's been asking for a date and he's been single for far too long. So he's going to give you a lowdown and he's going to give you a love letter.
Congratulations.
Now we're going to need to backtrack. Now you can't go too quick because otherwise your ghost sister will fall behind, I think. But you want to make your way around to the back, to the left, to the right, and then you want to keep going up. And as we progress through this area, make your way up, but don't follow me in this sense. But you can head back into this room if you need to get a bit more loot to clear that out. But I've gone the wrong way at this point in time. But follow the corridor around. We're going to be making our way back to the elderberry. And the elderberry is on the left hand side of the room. Once you get there, talk to the elder cranberry for a little bit, and eventually she will take care of your sister. Okay, so once you're done talking to the elderberry, and don't follow my direction here, we actually need to head down. So at this point in time we are going to find a few more photo opportunities, another photo opportunity, and there is another mission trigger. So let's make our way into this place, right and then down. Keep going down through this area. As you get by the enemies, go down even further from this room. I'm doing this mostly to also harvest souls at the same time. Head to the right. Cross over the new bone bridge. Head down at this point. Head to the right, and you're going to see the photo opportunity just here, and you want to take it. And it is a picture of the outside for some reason. And once you've done that, in the room on your right hand side you can already see it. There is a carrot with an additional task above his head. So make your way in and chat to him, and he's going to talk about creating a frankenfruit. So for those of you just joining us now, we are in the creepy crypt area. Okay, and once we're done talking to the scientific carrot, make your way to the left hand side, and as you come into this room you're going to need to crash through a lot of junk, but at the bottom there is another door, and this is going to take us through to the fourth boss of the game. Shoot the hand on the left hand side, and that is going to summon in Uncle Rigsby, and he is a bit of a character. He's actually a human, and this boss is actually very simple. In terms of that, he summons and adds it to the room. If you stay at the bottom, he doesn't really send much in terms of ways of attack down to you until his third point, in which his arm breaks off and then it starts running around the room. But very much just go to the bottom of the room and shoot up at him, and you should be done pretty quickly. Okay, so once he is dead, he is going to drop his keycard. He also drops a massive sword.
Congratulations.
And that's pretty damn useful, that sword itself. So, and what we're going to have to do here, now that it's over, if we exit out the left door, it's going to take us back into here, but it's going to open up a new listing on the dark web. And we're going to speak to a guy called the Thinker. So the Thinker is just to the left of this door. So once this little cutscene is over, we want to go speak to the guy that stood by the statue. So once we've spoken to the Thinker, he is going to give his opinion, which is based. And at this point in time in the game now, this is why we kind of need to start slowly mopping up on some of the tasks and kind of completing out the other bits that we need to do. We're getting close to the end of the game now, and this is where the RNG kind of really kicks in, and it kind of bulks the game out a little bit. You get a little bit lucky whether you find the right room or not, which is a bit frustrating. But there's only three more areas to explore in the game, but two kind of main ones. So at this point in time, I'm just going around and checking the different lifts and looking for money, obviously making sure my bag is full so that we can get it nice and easy just to get the rest of the stuff. But this is now pretty much go around, farm any kind of remaining souls, get some kills in if we haven't already done it, and also trying to check the lifts to see if there is a different kind of lift that we haven't been into before, or one that we need to return to. So you need to be doing the same thing at this point in time, going around if you see that familiar looking lift door, trying to find the areas where you need to turn in any of the missions. But this is kind of where that mop up starts to happen. So kind of at this point, I think it doesn't make sense for me to start including me just aimlessly wandering around in the video. So I'm going to cut out the next chunk until I find the next new task or the task to complete, because otherwise you'll just be watching me this whole time. So one of the areas that we needed to find, and I found this down in the dark dock area, but as you know it's completely randomized, we needed to return back to one of the office areas. So this was the grey lift door, and it returns us to an ordinary office. As you come into this ordinary office, you want to make your way up to the top. You're going to find the beat that we were looking for the GPU from, and he is in one of the ordinary offices, and you need to look for the grey door. He is going to give you a non-fungible token, an NFT, and that's kind of the best that you can get out of this room now. We also needed to find the pentagram door again, which is this one, because we need to speak to Crancran one more time because of the guy that wants to take her out on a date. So as always, you can't talk to Crancran when you come into the area. Instead, what's going to happen, you're going to need to take out the wave of enemies in the room that is behind her. So clean up on souls and all of this kind of stuff at the same time, and enemies that you need to kill, such as the peach fuzz, the Swat bell pepper, and the security guard snails. So bear that in mind because you'll need that for the mushroom Illuminati missions. But clean out this area. Once that's over, you can talk to Crancran, and she is going to give you the drawing. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, apparently. And if you also keep talking to Crancran after you've given this mission, Turnip Boy actually tells her to shut up. It's the first thing he ever says in the game. But yeah, talk to Crancran, and you want to take this back to the pomegranate vampire in the cryptic creep. I can't even speak. The crypt. So once that's done, you want to make your way up to the right, and we're going to go at the right hand side. There's also, I haven't turned in the mission for helping out the guy that is making the monstrosity. So go through the pitiful pit to the right, and as we come through this area, you want to make your way up to the right, and then on the right hand side you'll find the guy that has created the monster. And he's not listened to anything you said, but you will still need to give him the information from the thinker. And so once he's been given that information, he's going to give you a shiny little geode. And we're going to now go find the pomegranate, and we're going to turn in Crancran's picture to him. He's just to the left and up. So speak to him, and he's going to say that he has a perfectly depicted physique, and he's going to give you a ring, a candy ring. And we know who's looking for a ring, so let's go find them. We need to return back to seed stock. So to get to seed stock, take a left. At this point in time, I also get lucky and I find the souls room again, and I'm going to turn in the remainder of the souls like mission stuff. Okay, and then from there we want to exit out of that room and follow it around to the left. So keep an eye out for any lifts that you haven't been into yet at this point in time. You want to take a left when you get to this area. Don't follow the way I go the wrong way. We wanted to go left back down at the bottom. It just gets a bit chaotic and loud and noisy at this point in time. Take a left and then follow the path down to the end, go through the door. Continue to the left hand side to get back into seed stock, and then we want to head left and down into this area. So make your way in, go left, as you can see we're now killing off all of the enemies that the cultists wanted us to do. So keep making your way down into the section and eventually stay on the right hand side, and you're going to come across the good friends, the florist and the strawberry. You'll want to give them the candy ring. You want to stick about at this point in time. Don't just leave just yet. Keep talking to the strawberry, and she's going to give you the task of going and getting a ring as well.
Congratulations.
So at this point in time, it's worth exfilling out if you've got a full bag and you've done as much as you kind of can for this moment in time. So that's what I do at this point. And we're going to come back in with a crowbar this time around that we need to pick up from the black market, which we need to progress forward with the story, whilst still cleaning up with the rest of it. Okay, so now that we're back in the mission area, head over to the board, turn in some of the weapons. So the stuff that you're not using at this point in time, turn it in and make a bit of more XP for your research. Log on to the computer. We're going to pick up the tangerine dog and the crowbar. As you can see, we're making bank now from the bank, so it's getting a little bit easier when it comes to buying the upgrades, when you can walk out with a bag of 25,000 and some of the loot you're picking up is worth 100,000 in itself. So once you've done that, make your way to the right hand side, and now we're just going to keep stocking up on what is on the Roid Robot shelf. So Robo Raphael, I buy all of the upgrades now. Just buy whatever you want, it makes no difference. You can't die, and you need these items to help you you hit harder, move faster, that kind of stuff, but it's not too bad. So once you've got your crowbar and you've spoken to Dilly Teeny, we're going to head back into the bank. and open up the next area. So hop into the truck. And we're going to make our way to the central courtyard. Okay, and now that I'm done bugging out, I'm going to open up the manhole cover that is just in the corner here, and we're going to head down into the sewer. And we're also going to grab a couple of the tasks down here. Now on this run, don't focus so much on the money, because we're actually going to die this time around. So make your way through the sewers and speak to the NPCs as you go. And you'll reach these rooms where you just need to clear out a big wave of rats. Once that's done, you want to head down through the tunnel. Follow it around, and you're going to speak to the lady at the end, and she is going to give you the soda pop can.
Congratulations.
Backtrack to the last room. Take a right at this one and follow it through, and then speak to the NPCs along the way, and then when you hit the next room you want to take out the enemies. Once you're in the clear, exit to the right and follow the pipe all the way around. Go down, another room of enemies for you to clean up. Head left, follow the pipe all the way around, and you're going to find this guy called the Rat Friend, kicking it, twitching out, doing some stuff. Chat to the Rat Friend, and he's wearing a hat, and he's going to ask you to get the Rat Pass. So make your way back, you want to go up, take a left, go up, and then up to the upper pipe. Follow this pipe all the way through. Ignore the blueberry fella that's just there. Go to the left instead and go down and talk to the Rat Friend. He's going to give you the Rat Pass, and then backtrack to the Rat guy. So out, down, around. Keep going to the right in bottom right hand corner. And then when you reach this room, you want to take a left, go around, and then speak to him again. And that is that task done and dusted. Continue out of here, and you want to make your way around, go back up. Go up through the pipe at the top of this room. And as you come round, you want to walk past this blueberry, but through an invisible wall. So he didn't actually vanish here, and you're going to go into a secret room in the game that is hidden. And as you come in, head to the right. You're going to see this picture opportunity, and you want to grab a picture on this one, and if you're quick enough, maybe you can get away. I didn't even try, to be honest. You're going to grab a snap of this creepy thing, and it's just going to grab you. That's it, you're dead. And the reason why I say obviously don't bother exfilling with any money, because you don't leave with a great amount, and yeah. Anyway, so once you're back out, we are pretty much going to head back in. So, kind of like before, we are going to head back down into the sewers. So make your way up through the two foyers, and as you come to the top, go through the door that is with the number 1 on it. You should probably already know this by now. And then you want to use the manhole cover, and then you want to navigate through the sewer and take the route that I do on the screen. So follow it through. You'll need to clear out the rat rooms again, that's okay, but as you come through, yeah, just delete them and keep moving to the right. Now you'll know when you're in the right place because you'll bump into the old man Lemon again, and he's going to give you a bit of chat. But now that's over, you want to make your way through the security 4 door, and you're going to be in the mother lode, which is where the jackpot is. And this is the best place to make money in the game, by the way. So if you haven't purchased all of the upgrades, this is where you need to come and grab the loot from, because the golden items that you take off of the side are worth, you know, anything up to 1 million each. So, you know, loot the room. You're getting stuff, as you can see, that's 100,000, but there's a big diamond back there. There's also 2 guns and a ring. So the golden ring is here. That is the one that we need to take to Strawberry later. The 2 guns you also find in this room, by the way, shoot your cash and not bullets, which is quite handy, but in certain situations when you need money, it's not so handy. But anyway, you want to clean up in the rooms and loot the area. You want to follow it through. You need to blow the vault door open. And we're actually going to drop off Stronkle's drawing on the desk just here. So as you walk in, place that down. And it's going to remind Stinky that he has a son. This game has some dark undertones to it, really badly. And then in the middle of the room, you're going to find a diamond that is worth 1 million. So that's going to get you the achievement for exfilling with $1 million in total. But at this point, you need to talk to Stinky. Okay, and once we're done talking to Stinky, pop open the trunk that's at the top, and we are going to find some things like a photo, which is what we need to find, but it's your dad's old stuff. Okay, and this is kind of where the real cleanup of the game properly kicks in. So we're going to exit out of this sewer, and we're going to go back to the seed stock area. So exit through the sewer and back to the central courtyard. Okay, and once we're back in seed stock, we're going to make our way to the left hand side. Make your way down in this area. We're going to go find Strawberry. So keep following it down to Strawberry, and you'll also notice at this point in time we're going to start getting a lot more achievements pop. And as you come in and as you come down, by the tents, by the flag, you are going to find Strawberry, talk to her, and she is going to ask you to grab a photograph of the 2 of them once you have given her the ring. This is also the last photo, so you're going to pop the photography student photo at the same time. Also, now's a good time to leave the the bank, and that is going to also bag you the achievement as you leave for taking away $1 million as you've left the building. So, time to leave the bank. So now that we're here, we can start to wrap things up a little bit. So make sure that you're continuing to give your research stuff across to the boys and grabbing any guns that you need back from the board. And then we want to talk to the Roboroid, go to his store, make sure that you've purchased everything that you've got on the shelves just here if you haven't already, but also from the black market at the same time. It's not there yet, but if you talk to the Dillatini guy in the middle, he's going to tell you that you need to buy some rockets. So he's asking for some boosters for the stealing the bank itself. So grab the jet boosters. They are just below $1 million in terms of cost. It's a good job that we fulfilled that. But if you've been following along, we should have now purchased everything from the dark web, and some of the stuff you can't buy even though it says it's sold. But also make sure that you clear out Roboroid's point in time. So this is the point where in the game where you need to go farm the remainder of any of your kills for the Shroomanti missions, the Mushroom Illuminati, cranking up and making sure you've got enough money for buying all the Roboroids and the dark web stuff. And also at the point in time you can also give Annie all of the pictures that you have taken along the way. So once you're done showing Annie all of the photos, she's going to give you the Explorer hat, and it's going to complete a boatload of the Say Cheese missions that gets frequently updated. But like I say now, the goal is to literally clean up. So soul kills, the Illuminati mushroom team kills, the souls, like I say, the soul reaping, the recycling of weapons, and then any kind of outstanding tasks that you've got. So I have a few outstanding tasks, and remember that you can check what tasks that you have left by pausing it, going to the task menu, and you'll see here, for example, I've got to still bring the rocks, return the soda pop, go back to Stronkle and a couple of the other people. So I'm going to be cutting out the bits where you don't just see me wandering around the bank to try and find the right door, and cut to the chase of me finding the right door and reminding you where that is. So once you've had a quick look and you've had your chat with Dillatini, make your way back into the bank and let's start mopping up. And this is all pure RNG from this point onwards, so good luck, and hopefully it doesn't take you too long to get the things that you're looking for. Thankfully there's not a huge amount of rooms, so the probability of you not getting it in 1 or 2 rolls is quite unlikely. Though it is a little strange, though I only got one of the rooms where the task is later in the game. So one of the things that I needed to turn in very early on was the soda pop for the onion conductor, and you're looking out for the elevator door that has the lift with bubbles on it and a little fish. So when you find that one, make your way in and then speak to him. He's at the back just here. So once you've done that, he'll give you the rubber duck hat. And I also needed to turn in the remainder of the souls missions, so look out for the bonfire with a sword, and you need to speak to DJ Sizzle inside, and you need to turn all of the souls back to him, and he's going to give you all of his songs, and eventually he will also send you an email with a hat that you can pick up that way, but keep selling your soul to him, and then he's going to give you a bunch of stuff for doing that.
Congratulations.
Also outstanding on my list was a good food one. We'll need to get into the ordinary offices. So the door for this lift in particular is just a plain lift door. When you make your way in, and there's a couple of ordinary offices I believe, you need to make your way around the room and down, and you're going to find the ravioli. And you need to give the ravioli the good food certificate.
Congratulations.
So one of the doors that I didn't actually roll on my run was the fox door. So when you see it, it looks like a melted, malformed fox face. Talk to Dr. Jennifer Dogner on the right hand side, and she's been conducting some dark experiments. And we need to fight off the fox. So make your way into the room at the back. We're going to find a button that you need to push, and that is going to trigger the super fox to come out. This boss is invisible, but you can see where the boss is because they are holding a pistol. So just shoot in that boss's general direction until their health is gone. You just need to find them. It's a little bit pain with the auto locking at this point in time, but just shoot on through. Once you've defeated the boss, go back to speak to the doctor, and she will give you the hat. So next on that list, we need to turn in Sad Little Strong, and we're down in the Dark Docks. He is over to the far right hand side by where the food wall was, and we need to give him the update from his dad about going out for buying milk money or something like that. But chat to him for this one, and he's going to give you a rock.
Congratulations.
I believe that is also the last rock that we need in the game. So when you find the rock elevator door, you want to head on in and speak to the pie. And we're going to give the pie all of the rocks that we've found throughout the game. So I've already given several to them, but keep going, and you'll need to give all of the pie all of the rocks. So the next one was the rare artifact that I still had to hand in. We need to look for a lift with a golden door. Same place as the lady who gives the V-Bucks style situation. But as you make your way further to the back, you will bump into a watermelon that has been cut into pieces because of the laser accident. They're at the top of this room, and you need to give them the rare artifact. And then the last part is the turning in of the Illuminati, Mushroom Illuminati missions. And you get those for, remember, killing the Peach Fuzz. And you've got to look out for the Mushroom Skull Door. The Peach Fuzz cops that come as part of the SWAT team as you are progressing past your timer. The killing off of the snails, which are down in the foyer area. The killing off of the SWAT peppers, which can be found in the Dark Docks area, or also when you're being aggroed. And also you need to destroy 1,000 pieces of furniture, which you probably will do quite naturally throughout the game, but just go out and damage the furniture if you haven't done so. That then brings us up to date with all of the tasks in the game, and hopefully this hasn't been too difficult to follow. You'll need to exfil back, and the last piece that you need to make sure that you've got done is completing the weapon research. So that's trading in weapons that you find in the bank to unlock the level 10 research achievement. So once you have everything on the weapon rack, make sure that you're refilled, and you've obviously grabbed all the research now at this point in time. We now need to just probably hop into our inbox and go through all of the emails that we've received for hats There's a whole variety of these things. Just click through every single email and you'll keep unlocking new hats. You won't get every hat at this point in time because there is one that you will get post game as well, and there's one that you'll get in the next section. So unlock all your hats now just to make it a little bit easier. Now we steal the bank. So hop back into the truck, and to steal the bank we need to take out the 4 bosses that are in the area again. So we are gonna about clean that up. So make your way up through to the upper foyer. And as you come up into the upper foyer, take a left, and I'm gonna go find Yeehaw. And to trigger him again, shoot him. It's exactly the same boss as before, just take him out. So keep moving around, dodging his bullets and watching out for the ads in the room. And I'm cutting this short because there's no point in watching the same thing again, but once you're done where he was sat, you place down the rocket. Now make your way up out of this room, and you want to go up through the seed store area. Make your way up to the very top left hand corner. I'm going to go back where the carrot was, and as we go past the carrot, keep making your way up to the very top through the door, and we're going to find the apple boss. Shoot the apple to trigger it, and then take the apple down. Now the weapons here should be a lot stronger than what you had before, so you'll be able to cut through this guy quickly. Chuck down the ads, and once he is done, place the rocket in the middle. I'm cutting it short again because it doesn't make sense for you to watch the same boss fight that you're about to run, and it's pretty easy in God mode. Exit out through the bottom, make your way down, and then take the right way, and continue to the right, and that is going to put you in the central courtyard again. Go out the right hand of the central courtyard because this is easier. And when you're in the creepy crypt area, make your way up to the very top, whilst staying on the left hand side, not the right hand side like I do here. And as you get to the top, go through that door, and you're going to be back in Mecha Chad's room. Take him out, and then place the rocket in the middle. You'll now want to exit through the bottom of the screen, and we're going to make our way all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to go after Uncle Rigsby again. Keep making your way down. Take a left as you go down through the room, past the grapefruit. Stay on the right hand side here and keep going right and across the bone bridge. Go down at this point in time. Keep going to the right, down, and then to the left. And then push through the junk on the floor, and you'll come out. To trigger Rigsby, remember to shoot his hand and then delete him. And once you're done, you need to throw the bones into the middle of the pit to complete a bone bridge across it, and that will place the rocket for you. So take him out again. We need to make our way back to the central courtyard. Head to the left, and you want to go up through door number 1, and then you want to press the button in the middle, and that is going to launch us into space. Now once you hit up into space, you actually want to open up your phone, and you'll want to just check your emails, and there is another hat for you to claim in there. Okay, so we're getting ever closer to that completion, and for this we want to exit through the left door. We want to stay along the top of this particular section. So stay at the top. It's the same area, just completely busted up, but keep making your way up, and you're going to find that you have to bash concrete and broken bricks on the floor to go past. But make your way through the cardboard boxes and keep pushing up through this area and go through the door. You're going to be in the room where the apple was, and you want to disable the rocket that's in here. Once that's done, make your way down, and then you want to continue going left and then down this section. You want to make your way right and go back across, but then keep pushing down. A lot of the other areas are inaccessible now because of the damage done to the bank. Keep going down. So it makes me question whether it is actually worth stealing the bank. But you're back in Yeeha's room. You'll want to disable the rocket that is in here, and you want to exit through the right door. Make your way to the right, go up, and then stay on the right and go follow the red cables and follow the right path. And this time we want to stay going up to the left. Keep going up, and you'll see door number 3 at the top. We're going to be back in Mecha Chad's room. Turn off the rocket in here. You'll then want to head back down. We're going to go back to Rigsby's room. So keep going down. Stay on the right, down a bit more, down all the way. Keep going down and through. And then keep going left. You will need to take a right at this point in time. For some reason the bone bridge is still intact. Go across it. And keep moving. Keep going down. Keep going down. Push through the rubbish, and then in this room disable the rocket, and then you'll need to backtrack exactly the way that you just came. Once you're in this room, hit the switch in the middle, and that is gonna end this situation, and it's gonna roll to a cutscene and it will go to the credits, but we're not quite done yet. So I'll catch up with you in a second. So once that's done, we need to actually reboot the game back up. This is also, if you've missed anything, you can mop up at this opportunity. Just load into the warehouse, you don't need to go into the bank. And then boot up your phone. And we're going to just need to go through the last bit of the phone to grab the last few bits. Now the game actually rolls you back to pre-going into space at this point in time. But yeah, just pause here, bring up your phone, hit the inbox, and then scroll through the other messages. So you've got your hats that you need to collect, the official documents for your name change, so you can now be full-time the Don, and then keep going until you've collected all the hats. This should then pop you the achievement for finding all the hats. I've been Just a Kid from the Achievement Squad. If you find this guide useful, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, and happy hunting.